folks, I'm Judy Horn. I work with my husband Nelson Horn. We're realtors in the Coachella Valley of California. Today's video is a tenant alert. It does not matter whether you are leasing an estate-style home or a very modest home. Please pay attention, and perhaps this will be informative and maybe even save you some money and aggravation. We have experienced the following too many times, as recently as yesterday and today. Good people, good tenants, taking care of property, paying their rent on time. Suddenly, they answer the door, only to find out the landlord has not been paying their mortgage, and the bank now owns the property that they're leasing, and they're going to have to move. Here are some possible scenarios for you. One, this is before renting a home. Sometimes the landlord is current on their mortgage, but deep in their heart they know that once this tenant's in place, they're going to let the house go into foreclosure. Another possible scenario would be the landlord owns the house at the time of the lease, but not paying the mortgage and has every intention on default, but he rents anyway. Another scenario, the landlord is not paying the mortgage, still collecting your rent. Again, another scenario, the landlord has been served with notice of default, but he continues to collect the rents anyway. Another scenario, the landlord could be days away from losing the property and knows that. He then goes off and he may rent that property anyway to some unsuspecting tenant. Here's our personal favorite. Bank owns the house, the former owner rents anyway to the unsuspecting tenant. In all of these cases, the bank wants the tenants to vacate so the property can be sold. Now let me point out that as tenants in California, you have certain rights and a certain timetable that you can delay exit. Find out what these rules are in your area. Even if you're not in California, I'm sure your state has something similar. It's not unusual for banks to offer the tenants money to vacate within a short time period. Also, find out about this. Now, this is what you should be aware of and do to try to protect yourself. If the former owner is trying to lease a house he lost, time is very, very important. Normally, he will try to rent the property below market value. You will also note that he's very much in a hurry to get your money, just trying to keep steps ahead of the bank. Now, for those of you in property, be vigilant. If you're in a residence and you see notices coming in the mail or posted on the property door, you can just bet your landlord is in trouble. Landlords, too, be careful of the landlords that are starting to remove items such as fixtures and appliances. Sometimes they promise to be buying newer versions, but they never materialize. They're just trying to get the stuff out the door so they can sell it off. Just because you use a realtor doesn't mean you're getting safe in this particular arena of rental. A few conscientious and experienced realtors will pull a property profile of all recorded documents before listing a property. They're looking to verify who the owner is. They're checking to see if there are any liens, or worse yet, has a notice of default been filed. Sometimes this happens that liens will be filed after the property has been listed for sale. So it's imperative that just before you sign a lease, you have your realtor go and pull these documents again, once again, looking for the items I told you, that the owner is really the owner and nothing is in the line of liens has been filed. Often, as I said earlier, this is never done. So here are a few common sense suggestions. Remember, this is not legal advice. Our company would have our hide. We must tell you in all times to consult an attorney. Work with a professional. Ask that the professional pull the records to determine before signing, is the mortgage current, are the taxes current, are the homeowner's fees paid. Sometimes the lien from the homeowners doesn't appear in the documents. However, it would be very much to your advantage to contact that homeowners association. We've seen leases that have been executed only to find the homeowner can't avail themselves of any of the amenities because there are some outstanding dues that the landlord hasn't paid. Make sure that when your realtor says that they have done these checks for you, you get it in some type of writing, preferably email. After you're in the property, it would be good to establish a relationship with that realtor and ask that they run those searches for you every quarter so you can stay ahead of things and know what's happening with the property. Again, if you feel everything is not aligned and quite right, perhaps something is telling you that this is not the rental unit for you. Now, for those of you already in the house, you can't prevent the foreclosure, but you can decide how and when you pay your rent. This can happen to you as a renter. Nelson and I have seen this over and over in this period of our history where people are not paying their mortgages and keeping their tenants' money. Good luck to all of you and be vigilant. Hi folks, I'm Judy Horn. I work with my husband Nelson Horn. We're realtors in the Coachella Valley of California. Today's video is a tenant alert. It does not matter whether you are leasing an estate-style home or a very modest home. Please pay attention, and perhaps this will be informative and maybe even save you some money and aggravation. We have experienced the following too many times, as recently as yesterday and today. Good people, good tenants, taking care of property, paying their rent on time. Suddenly, they answer the door, only to find out the landlord has not been paying their mortgage, and the bank now owns the property that they're leasing, and they're going to have to move. Here are some possible scenarios for you. Former owner's trying to lease a house he lost. Time is very, very important. Normally, he will try to rent the property below market value. You will also note that he's very much in a hurry to get your money, just trying to keep steps ahead of the bank. Now, for those of you in property, be vigilant. If you're in a residence and you see notices coming in the mail or posted on the property door, you can just bet your landlord is in trouble. Landlords, too, be careful of the landlords that are starting to remove items such as fixtures and appliances. Sometimes they promise to be buying newer versions, but they never materialize. They're just trying to get the stuff out the door so they can sell it off. Just because you use a realtor doesn't mean you're getting safe in this particular property anyway to some unsuspecting tenant. Here's our personal favorite. Bank owns the house. The former owner rents anyway to the unsuspecting tenant. In all of these cases, the bank wants the tenants to vacate so the property can be sold. Now let me point out that as tenants in California, you have certain rights and a certain timetable that you can delay exit. Find out what these rules are in your area. Even if you're not in California, I'm sure your state has something similar. It's not unusual for banks to offer the tenants money to vacate within a short time period. Also, find out about this. Now, this is what you should be aware of and do to try to protect yourself. If the particular arena of rental, a few conscientious and experienced realtors will pull a property profile of all recorded documents before listing a property. They're looking to verify who the owner is. They're checking to see if there are any liens, or worse yet, has a notice of default been filed. Sometimes this happens that liens will be filed after the property has been listed for sale. So it's imperative that just before you sign a lease, you have your realtor go and pull these documents again, once again, looking for the items I told you, that the owner is really the owner and nothing is in the line of liens has been filed. Often, as I said earlier, this is never done. So here are a few common sense suggestions. Remember, this is not legal. One, this is before renting the home. Sometimes the landlord is current on their mortgage, but deep in their heart they know that once this tenant's in place, they're going to let the house go into foreclosure. Another possible scenario would be the landlord owns the house at the time of the lease, but not paying the mortgage and has every intention on default, but he rents anyway. Another scenario, the landlord is not paying the mortgage, still collecting your rent. Again, another scenario, the landlord has been served with notice of default, but he continues to collect the rents anyway. Another scenario, the landlord could be days away from losing the property and knows that. He then goes off and he may rent